Am I the loveliest co-star you've ever had?
So your next question?
So rude.
The next question is Lara Pulver the loveliest co-star you've ever had?
Oh, without a doubt.
Hello there, Tom Hayden-Millward here for What's on Stage, and this evening we're back for another opening night at the gorgeous Regent's Park Open Air Theatre. And what better way to wrap up the 2024 season than with the classic that is Fiddler on the Roof. Earlier today we caught up with these lovely cast members to get their thoughts on Jordan Fein's open air revival.
I think Jordan has found this story so true to home, so close to home, and I think it's probably been a bit of a gift to be offered to come to Regent's Park to do Fiddler on the Roof. I think it's very much Jordan's family story, as it is many of our company.
Well, it's still Fiddler. Like, it's absolutely Fiddler. No one's going to go into this and be like, what's this? I don't recognise this. But it's just, I think he's brought the realness out. Like, we're real people. You know, it doesn't feel like we're in musical land. And
that's why I think he's very much stayed true to the text and wanted to honour the piece in its 60th anniversary.
60 years this year.
I'm loving this microphone work.
Yeah, it's great.
Am I good?
You're good.
Great, thanks.
You're welcome.
When we were all cast, there was very much discussions about how to make the female characters more prevalent in it, because it's very much has always been sort of staged as Tevye's story and how he responds to his daughter's rebellions. But in this version, it's very much that like we have so much more agency.
Mm-hmm. It's no longer just a story about Tevye. I think it's a story about Tevye's family and his girls, and that means that there is a slightly greater focus on the women in the piece and their heart and their gut and what is driving them. And that's exciting to be in a production that sort of refocuses the storytelling in that way.
He has elements that are certainly, I wouldn't say radical, but reinvented. But they stay very true to the script and to the original telling of the script. He's not trying to flip it on its head and, spacemen jumping out of spaceships.
I don't want to say too much, but Matchmaker, it's like, oh, of course it should be like that. Like, it's in the text, but it's usually much more, musical theatre-y sort of, it's more of a cheery song, and it sort of shouldn't be, because it's about their future and it's scary.
I mean, this is my first gig, so walking into the room, everything was a surprise. Not necessarily because I've done musical theatre before, but it was a completely new environment, and working with professionals, just the talent and the professionalism, and it just blew me away. And I surprised myself as well, because I realised that I can fit into this kind of thing.
Do you know what? I think I have been sort of consistently surprised coming into this rehearsal room. Partly just because there is so much talent in the room. The first time we saw the bottle dance was I don't think I'll ever forget that day of rehearsals. It blew my mind.
Yeah.
As someone who isn't a dancer. The skill on show is just sort of it's like nothing I've ever seen before, honestly.
For me, coming from the States, everything was new here in the rehearsal room. The sense of ensemble and the sense of camaraderie and the sense of support. It's not that you don't get that where I'm from, but it's just it's such a loving environment, and everyone does a warm-up together, a group warm-up, and everyone embraces each other in the morning, and it's just such a kind group of people, and it's almost like a cult. I was a little bit like, oh my gosh, everyone's so nice. What are they going to try to get me to eat? Some kind of strange snake or something?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably worth saying that the cast is predominantly Jewish. So I think a lot of us do have quite personal relationships to the show.
We'll do mine first because it's probably less interesting than Darya's. I saw the film when I was a kid. That's it's very long, the film, and I remember that as a child. But yeah, it's full of big bangers that you don't know that you know, or you don't know where they're from. And then you go, oh, it's from there. And I think that's what's really exciting about Fiddler. You go, oh wow, all these songs I know are actually from here.
Go on.
Well, I mean, I grew up watching the film very much. I mean, my dad still to this day will just, if my mum is like feeling needy and she'll say to my dad, oh, do you love me? He'll start singing, do you love me? Every time, without fail. It's like a very much just, it is quoted in the family.
Darya's is more interesting, let's ask her now.
Where to begin? I mean, it's in the family, surrounded by it. We obviously watched it many times as kids. Not only was my granddad in it, my mum did it with him on stage on the West End. She was on set when they were filming. She said she was best friends with the goat.
Cool.
So,
What was the goat called, do you know?
I don't know.
Okay, it's a shame, sorry.
Damn.
Yeah.
Let's name it Michael.
Michael.
Michael
the
the
goat
goat.
Michael. Top billing.
My mum told me that she took me to see it when I was a baby, but I was obviously a baby. But you know, we know it inside out, upside down, surrounded by it, and we're so happy to be. Like, it's literally the best musical ever.
Did you always have an inkling that one day you'd also be in it?
No way! No way! I mean, I've grown up in a pretty musical theatre musicians family, so I've been singing and dancing and whatever since birth. So I knew that this is my calling. And my granddad was, you know, he was always such an inspiration to me and my older sister. But I never thought that I would be doing this. I mean, I would,
The wonderful thing about Fiddler on the Roof is that it's ultimately about love, life, community, family. All the challenges and joys that brings, which is as relevant today as what it was 60 years ago when it was written. And
Or 120 years ago when it was taking place. You know.
I think it also talks about like prejudice and violence and displacement, and those are all important questions in multiple places across the world at the moment. It's fascinating that you can take this play, which feels so specific, and that it becomes universal, and it says something about how specificity actually in many ways makes something more universal. And this play does it really brilliantly, I think.
And there's something about coming out to Regent's Park Open Air Theatre on a summer's evening with the British summer that we're currently experiencing, where people are just open to having the most glorious evening.
It's a beautiful place to be, to present a beautiful piece of theatre, so we're very lucky.
Fiddler on the Roof continues through to the 21st of September 2024 at Regent's Park Open Air Theatre. And next year will mark new artistic director Drew McConey's inaugural season of programming. As always, you can leave your thoughts about the show in the comments section down below. And why not let us know which timeless classics you'd like to see revived here at the Open Air Theatre. But please, for the love of matchmakers, sunsets and sunrises everywhere, keep it kind. Give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and ring that bell for notifications. And I'll see you next time for What's on Stage.
It's a stonker of a mic, isn't it?
I don't know what a stonker is, but it's big. I agree.
Good husband.
Yes, she's absolutely right.
So what did you have for breakfast this morning?
I'll let you know after I have it.
Okay, great,
I
that's
had
good.
a banana that you got me.
I got you a banana?
You got me
I
a
must
lot
be
of
the
bananas.
most generous, kindest co-star you've ever had.
Amazing. Like beyond.